Good afternoon. It is April 20th, 6:02 in the afternoon. Um, we do have a quorum present. And if you would like to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I salute the flag
Of the state of New Mexico, the state symbol of perfect friendship among the United cultures.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Almost got a full room in here. That's pretty exciting. Okay, so item 3, consent agenda.
I move we adopt the meeting agenda with flexibility.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
The motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. unanimously. Okay, so it looks like we have Major General Aguilar going up first.
I think you just got up.
Yes.
Yes, it's all you. It's
So good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. It's really cool to be here. I was just telling people in the back, like the last time I set foot on this property, right, it was a house.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a little while, right?
Yeah.
And so glad to be back in my hometown to talk to you about a program that we're bringing in. So I currently am the Adjutant General for the National Guard. I'm also the Secretary for Homeland Security and Emergency Management. And part of what we're doing is, so the Guard, you know, we believe in our commitment to New Mexico and trying to make the place a better place. And part of that is our belief that our youth are a big piece of how we build a stronger, more resilient New Mexico. Our governor asked me a few years ago, so we're going to be our third year, about 3 years ago. She brings me into her office and says, "Hey, I want you to do something about all of the problems that we're having with kids, really specifically how we're losing kids that leads to, you know, guns being in schools." So she wanted to do some kind of an intervention. So we started this conversation about, okay, at what age and where. So we talked middle school, high school, creating some program that we would eventually start to scale across the state of New Mexico. So I asked the governor, not a problem, how much money do I have? She says, yeah, you don't get any. Like, you have money, figure it out. And so we went about trying to figure out how do we create a program that does an intervention as a pilot program in Albuquerque with no money. Just about then the legislature had passed their bill that allowed for the literacy program. And so I saw money there, and that kind of became the foundation of how do we do a program in the summer that's about 6 weeks that includes some literacy, some academic component, because we know that the summer gap is incredibly important for kids. But that also does other things. How do we build and give the kids the resiliency and the tools that they need, the armor that they need in order to be able to grow up in an environment that kids have to grow up today? Because the truth is, no matter where you are in New Mexico, it is different today than when it was 40 years ago when I was here. And so we created the Summer Challenge program. It started as a pilot at Jimmy Carter Middle School. We're going to enter our third summer. 6-week pilot program that included some literacy, life skills. So you may know and probably are more familiar than most people in the state with our Youth Challenge Academy in Roswell. In fact, many people who are from Dexter work there.
My son does.
And so, yeah, so we kind of looked at what are those life skills that we give at a youth challenge that we can export into a 6-week program, 5 days a week at a school. And so the 4 pillars of the program that we have now are essentially some academic remediation. So a little bit of literacy. Last year with Jimmy Carter and Wilson and Van Buren middle schools in Albuquerque, we added some math. We also do life skills and leadership. So doing the types of programs that allow to provide mentorship, life skills. This year, we're going to add some cooking skills as well, physical fitness training, and like yoga, meditation, all of those things they do every day. So every kid that goes to this program, every day you've got a National Guardsman that's there doing some kind of physical fitness. So I think it's incredibly important to get your body moving. And then the last thing is adventure. When I say like we've got to do hard things, right? And so every person as you grow up has to figure out how to do things that they find difficult. Doing the easy things are easy, right? Everyone wants to do those things. But how do you take kids, especially at that middle school level, who are trying to learn to get out of their comfort zone, put them through things that are difficult, and then the progress, the confidence that gets built from doing those things. And so what we ask every one of the kids to go there is once a week we go out and do something that kind of scares the heck out of them, right? So rappelling off a 50-foot tower, rock climbing, mountain biking, those things that will cause them to get uncomfortable and physically scared, all safe, but provide fear, and then the excitement and the confidence that gets built from doing that. Here, we're going to do them a little bit differently because the facilities are different, but we've already partnered with New Mexico Military Institute. They've got a high ropes course. They've got a rappel tower. We're working with some of the key community members here to identify some mountain biking. So one of the things that we're changing this year was we were trying to use City of Albuquerque resources to get access to some of these things. And about 3 months ago, we decided we're just going to build our own. And so we currently have New Mexico Guardsmen that are going to be in Moab probably, I think, next week, getting single pitch certified, already experienced outdoor rock climbers that will get certifications so they can run their own courses. We've got folks that are already rappel certified. We've got avid mountain bikers that we're purchasing 60 mountain bikes and trailers so that we can move them around. And so the hope is that, well, the intent is that one of the days here, the middle schoolers in the combination program with Roswell and Dexter will go out and do a mountain biking course. And so they'll get an orientation, maybe on a field somewhere. And then we're in the process of identifying which courses we'll use here. The challenging piece here is, you get into June and July beyond 9 o'clock and it's kind of hot. Right? And so, although I tell these guys that Southeast New Mexico people don't mind hot, like it's kind of how you grew up. I rode my bike in the middle of the summer, but we'll try not to put them out to 105 degrees in the afternoon, try to get them there early. And so that's the program. The advantage to it for you, and probably why no one's come and asked you about this program, is because it costs you nothing. So the program is funded. The literacy program is funded out of AED. The rest of the funding comes out of legislative money that's been appropriated to the Department of Military Affairs for us to run the program. What we need is partnership. And so not shocking to me because I grew up here and in Roswell. When we came to Roswell and Dexter and said, hey, we want to do this thing, the administration on both sides leaned in. And they started to figure out how do we help make this thing possible. And so what it'll look like for the kids here is I think we've got 15 slots, probably not nearly enough, and we'll kind of work through some of that over time. We'll pull a bus up here at some point, probably 8:30 in the morning. The bus will load up or the van will load up and we'll go to Eastern New Mexico University campus, who is graciously given us the space. We'll run the program from there. We'll feed them breakfast, we'll feed them lunch, and then we'll have them back here. I think we'll do about 6 hours of instruction on the ground, minus the commute time from here to Roswell and then back. And so for the parents, it looks like almost a full 8 days or a full 8 hours. We'll start the first week in June, and then it'll carry through to about the second week in July. Here, it's not necessarily a problem for you, but in Albuquerque, where we use the schools themselves, it gives the support staff enough time to get the school ready for the next school year. The other thing you should know that comes with it, if you are so inclined and you want that, is more engagement from the Guard year round. And so it's not just a 6 weeks and we're out. The real intent is to build an opportunity to mentor with Dexter kids, and that'll be open to the entirety of the middle school. And so what it would look like is some guardsmen that would be willing to come in. Our counter drug program already does, canned programs like Thrive that talk about staying away from drugs, but what we'd like to be able to do, if you're open to it, we can kind of negotiate it out is, maybe once a week we can do some after school activities. Maybe we join into some after school activities you already do. But we come back into the school engaged. So at like Jimmy Carter Middle School, the first day of school, the kids come in, they'll ask guardsmen to show up and like welcome the kids in. The middle school graduation, they'll often ask me to come speak at it. And we'll bring in static displays or whatever. So the sky's the limit, I think, from the perspective of what we're willing to do. It's just a matter of how we build that relationship, and then how we schedule it. A little more challenging here from the perspective of, I don't have much of a guard presence. I have several hundred that are working full time in the Albuquerque Santa Fe area, so it's easier to do. But we'll figure out how to get that done. And my staff knows this is incredibly important because our youth are like keeping them like on the correct path is incredibly important. And this program has seen, in Jimmy Carter, we've seen 58% increase in attendance, a 54% drop in disciplinary action. We've seen literacy scores go up 58%. It isn't a matter of what we do over the 6 weeks. What we're starting to find out is that building that engagement and excitement about attending school translates into significant progress in the following school year. And I think we're already talking with my staff about how we'll measure this thing. So droned off long enough. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of the program and whatever questions you have, we'd be glad to answer.
Awesome.
Does Jimmy Carter do the year round or no?
They do. Jimmy Carter actually, they asked us for more things than we figured out how to produce. At Wilson and Van Buren, which we're combining this year, we're opening up another slot with Kennedy. We're also going into Espanola this year as well. But what they do is they already have like engagement after school. And so what we're trying to do is build out like, one of the things, it's probably not the case here, but what we found at Wilson was there were kids when they went mountain biking, didn't know how to ride a bike. And you think, how do you not know how to ride a bike at middle school? Well, not Dexter, right? Where you can go ride your bike. It's a tough community. And so we had kids that either didn't have a bike or didn't have the opportunity to do it safely. And so what we want to be able to do is come in and after school, pull a trailer up, maybe once a month, once a quarter, do some on-site like practice with obstacles, and then figure out how do we do maybe once a quarter or twice a year, how to do a Saturday event at a mountain biking trail near here, where we can figure out a supervised way to get kids out, bring the bikes out, and then have an outdoor adventure to try to build, more opportunity to doing those things. Again, may not be what this community needs as much as some of the cities does. The beautiful thing about it all is I think this is a partnership. It isn't my program. It's a program that we build together, and I think we make it what works for the community.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, that sounds great. I like the community involvement, and then just actually, you guys are what the younger generation, the little kids look up to, so we appreciate that.
But we're looking forward to be able to do it here is something that I kind of always had in the back of my mind when the governor asked me about it. And so I think this is a great opportunity to figure out how we do rural somehow, and then figure out how we scale it. Because I think the 15 isn't enough for Dexter, the 35 isn't enough for Roswell. The campus at Eastern probably has the capacity to go significantly larger. And so as we start to look at how do we build out additional funding from the legislature, maybe we do it in the same place, but we build it out to 100 or 150 over time. So I gotta tell some folks outside, when you see Representative Mejia or anyone else from the legislature, like you can tell them what a great program it is if that's how you feel, and then we can start to figure out how we fund more. I think it'd be a great opportunity.
Mejia?
Yes. I think there's others, but she's the one that's right.
She is.
Yeah.
I see everyone's about. So.
Awesome. Anything else?
And our students are super excited already. We've already kind of built the anticipation, so we're excited to be able to send them to you guys.
Well, we appreciate you being as enthusiastic about it. We'll try to do a good job.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get out of here.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we have the audit presentation, I believe, or?
Yes, we have Juan Garcia here.
Juan Garcia, thank you.
President Alves, Superintendent Pierce, board members. My name is Juan Garcia. I'm the audit manager for BC Insurance Company. I'm here to present the audit results for year ending 2025 to June 30th. Move the next page, please. Management, superintendent, Jenny, they were great. They provided all the information I needed. They were timely on the request, so made it really easy for me to go through all the information. And there are some things that we're going to go through, but and all in all, I think it's a great organization. Your schools are running pretty good. Your financials look great. There's a few issues that we have to go through, but nothing major that should call any large attention. Quickly, next page, please. There's two opinions that we do have. You all do have a single audit. What this states is that you all did have over $750,000 of expenditures that were related to federal grants. But these expenditures that relates to those, we do a risk assessment, pick a certain one of these programs, and we test it individually aside from the financial statement audit. To go on the financial statements and budget, we did have what we call an unmodified opinion. This is the best opinion you can have. It states that we hold no reservations, and we do believe that the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects. When it comes to the single audit, it's also not a modified opinion, but it is presented fairly in relation to the financial statements as a whole. We can go to the next page, please. When you do get your report, you do have different kinds of financial statements. Can be a little confusing. We do have what we call a government-wide financial statements. You'll see them before first. What this is financial statements made kind of like it reflect the score of the business. It does have your long-term items like long-term debt, capital assets, net pension liability, and either different inflows and outflows. When it comes to the fund financial statements, it's just based on a cash basis. Cash come in, cash come out with about 60 days worth of accrual. So you'll have some accounts receivable, accounts payable, everything very short term. We do have a change in net position of $3 million. So that means that you did increase your net value about $3 million and an ending net position of $11 million. With that said, especially in the government-wide financial statements, this is not very reflective of what it is. You would think you can sell all your items and get $11 million, and of course you cannot. You things that are used to get about half the price and all that. So it is the value reflected on what it is that costs you to operate. The fund financial statements, we also had a change in fund balance of about $160,000, ending your fund balance of about $1.2 million. A little bit more reflective of what we do have in the bank and things like that that are used to operate throughout the year. And we get to the next page, please. Okay, we did have a budget comparison. Like I said earlier, we do have an opinion on the budgets. When we get to one of the findings that is related to the budget, we did test the following funds, which are all the ones that are related to the general fund, as well as any major special revenue fund. This year we have none. We go to the next, please. And for the single audit we did talk about earlier, we did do a risk assessment, and this year the one that we decided to test was the Child Nutrition Center. And the total programs that you all did have expenditures were at $1.7 million. Next, please. We did have prior year findings. There was a PED report, was a significant deficiency. We also had last year an expenditure in excess of budgets, and we had finally one based on per diem. Go to the next one, please. I am happy to report that we do have two of the same findings repeated, but we did have one resolved. So the one with the per diem has been resolved, and we dropped down from 3 findings to only 2. The PED report, that basically what the PED report has and what's in the bank doesn't match. Doesn't mean anything missing or anything like that. It's just a calculation error that what is being reported is not really matching. When it comes to the expenditures and excess of budgets, again, there's our budgets prepared. Then we assume there's going to be an X amount of expenditures, and the expenditures went over that budget. We do have to put a finding, and we do have what we call budget bar adjustments that can be done in order to adjust that bar, that budgets to meet your expenditures throughout the year. Are there any questions, concerns, or anything I can help explain? This is a timeline of what we did have. We'll have an exit conference with one of the board members and management. We did have an initial submission to the Office of the State Auditor on January 20th. The Office of the State Auditor did not release until about 2 months and 10 days after that. And today, of course, we do present to finalize our whole audit.
So what would throw it into a finding as far as on the bars? Is there a certain leeway on amount of money, either accounts receivable or something like that?
On budgets, there is no leeway. It's $1 off and it's because it's set by statute, $1 off and it's a fine.
That's it. Okay.
In other procedures, let's say we were looking for something that we saw wrong and it was underneath the threshold. I don't remember what your threshold is, about 1% of revenue. Sometimes we do pass on those, but if it's an internal control or a compliance with any regulation or laws, then there is no materiality.
Okay. Perfect. It's a lot of numbers to keep up with. But over here, so, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And typically this happens before Christmas usually, and we're set back quite a bit of time.
Yeah. Any questions or comments?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Juan Garcia. Appreciate it.
Have a safe trip.
Yep, have a safe trip. Okay, that's okay.
Okay, next.
Good afternoon, Superintendent Pierce and President Mr. Davalos. We are here on behalf of Dexter FFA, and we are seeking approval to go to Oklahoma for our homesite national trip. And we're here to entertain any questions that you may have. My name is Madeline, and I am a junior this year. My name is Shayla Polanco, and I'm also a junior.
My name is Manny Calderon, and I'm and I'm Jose Gaetan, and I'm also a junior.
Well,
Pitch that like for Shark Tank or something. I like it, Maddie.
For like 150,000 for 10% of the
Yeah.
company. But
yeah.
I was waiting. I was like,
Can you explain your contest?
So our contest is home site. So we judge the dirt, we judge the slope, and we judge the permeability based on building a home, sewage, and lawn care on it.
Nice.
And we basically determine if it would be good to build a home on it, if it won't.
Good to know. Yeah.
Awesome. Good. And when is this trip taking
yeah.
place and how many days?
We are planning to leave May 5th at like 4 a.m. And then planning on coming back the 7th or the 8th, depending on if students like on track. We have, and we're 4.
Our national trip combines with state track, and me and Manny, depending on how our track season goes, and we qualify for state, we have to come back on May 7th at night and go to Albuquerque for state track. And if we don't qualify, then we can stay there extra day till May 8th and come back.
Okay.
And where is it again?
Oklahoma City and El Reno.
Oh, yeah, not far.
Yeah.
I got family there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you're gonna qualify for state and then you guys are gonna go to Oklahoma and it'll be perfect. So I move that
Those two,
we
too.
approve the, any other questions?
No. Okay.
I move that we approve this travel.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a
Do you have a
second?
second?
Yes, ma'am. Awesome. A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Hope you guys have fun and.
I hope your trip gets cut short. That sounds rude, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I also
Yes.
move
You
that you
qualify.
qualify for state track, so.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys very
Yeah.
much.
Good luck.
You
Go represent.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, so good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck. Busy
Good luck.
birthday.
Letting you was all nervous,
Okay.
but maybe
Now go
that's-
qualify, not if, but when, right?
So do you want to
We're
just
back,
continue?
we're back on track.
Hey, back on track.
So B,
Yes.
okay, item 4B, construction report.
So Decker joined us for math and science night at the elementary. We had a pretty decent turnout for parents coming and looking at the site drawing. I do have that in my office if you would like to look at it after the presentation. We are currently awaiting our time with PSFA to complete. We're moving from schematic development to design development. So in schematic, it's very broad, and the pieces that we look at are more possibilities, and then we'll move into design, and that'll get much more granular of what that looks like.
And remind me again, because I forgot, where will all those students and classes go? Like, they're gonna be mixed everywhere, right?
So,
Until the
middle
building's built?
school will be, we're able to do it in 2 phases. So we're
Okay,
able
okay.
to use the south wing
Okay,
for them to be housed in while we build on the north side for middle school. And then we will be able to do the elementary wing after. So when we're done, we can look at the drawing and I can kind of show you.
Kind of like
Okay.
flipping kids.
Oh,
a
look,
little bit.
so they're just gonna have to listen to it the whole time.
Just like,
So here's what they.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
I was gonna say, I know we talked about that, I just had forgotten.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing I presented at the board meeting,
Yep.
that they brought to,
That
Yeah.
looks good. Thank you.
so.
oh,
And we have a plan. I mean, so we'll be displaced a little bit, but it's not anything that won't be livable for 18 months.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
18
and
months.
staff are on board and we're ready. This time next year, hammer down. So,
Nice.
Good deal.
you want to back up to me?
We approved the,
Yeah, but
General
because
session.
we changed we adopted with flexibility, we pulled out the agenda in general, so we do need to pass the.
okay, so we pass the, okay, so I'm back up to item 3B, consideration to approve minutes of previous meeting, regular board meetings from March 9th, 2026. Do we have a motion?
And you can do them together.
Okay, and also special board meeting, April 13th, 2026.
I move to adopt, to approve both minutes.
Okay, awesome. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second,
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you for that. So are you ready for C, student teacher report, or we're gonna do was somebody gonna get online on that, on the report or no? For the construction report?
No, so this is what they brought for math and
Oh, okay.
science.
Okay.
So just kind of giving you guys the opportunity to look at what they brought. And they answered questions as they came. So with that, under board reports, Ms. Batista did come to that meeting. And she was also able to go with us to the track. So we'll let her, she can report on.
Oh, yeah, gladly.
And she would,
I do not remember their names, but they were very kind. So we did go over to the track. And
Representative Mahip.
thank you, Representative Mahita. And so we had looked at all the areas where the building, the facade was starting to crumble and come away, which is quite terrifying. Looked like there could have been some water behind that. And I was impressed with how quickly it was done because I went on a walk just last week and saw it. And so they repaired a lot of that facade. They painted the outside to, I thought was going to be gray. It looks like a very faint gray. It looks more white with blue trim. But it just looks very neat, very clean, presents a much better appearance when we have opponents coming over.
and they knocked it out in like a day.
It was super fast. Yeah, because we were there. I don't remember what day that was. And then,
Tuesday.
yeah. And then I had walked like within a week and it was done. I was like, oh, okay, we're done with this. That was good.
She came to the presentation and to come to math and science night as a representative. And so with that, Decker was running a little late, so we had the opportunity to take her to the track and for her to see where the money that the legislators have given us and how we've utilized that fund. So super excited that we could show her that. And in the future, we'll invite them back when we do have our projects complete, so that way they can see that we have spent their, how we've spent it.
It's like a housewarming party, though. They have to bring furniture. So you have furniture.
Yes.
That's okay.
Okay, so on board reports, I'm gonna tell on myself. I see this and I am heartbroken. I wish I could attend. I am not gonna be able to make that, but I will come by and pass out some of these. Love to help. I have a business meeting in Indiana from around the 10th to like the 15th. And I advocated so much for the cafeteria ladies to be able to join us, so I really wish I would have been able to join on that. I would have been high-fiving everybody, but
This is just an example, so that way you guys can look at it, make sure that we have everything correct. If there's anything we need to change, if you guys will let us know. I'm gonna send a copy to Ms. Miles, so that way she typically proofreads things and is really good at that too. So that way we can send those out, and I'll schedule with you guys in the next little bit to get out there and pass those out to our.
That would be great, yeah. Okay. Ready? Okay, all right, so item 5, do we have anybody?
Would you like me to go with the
Oh,
superintendent?
I'm trying to shave like an hour off of it while you're recording.
I was like, we are moving.
Totally.
Yeah, I know, I was.
I was like, whoa, there's like that
I
much.
know, I saw it, it's all in red. Okay, yes, Ms. Molly, you may speak.
I was like,
I
whoa.
know. No, I'm kidding, no, thank you. I actually, I thought we were kind of.
Like, as long as we know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do want to report that we did have a middle school student have art at the ENMU Reynolds Gallery. So I hope you were able to click on the link and look at that. That's super exciting that we had a student who was able to, exhibit their art there. So I put that on there for you guys.
I did click on that. I spent like 30 minutes because I started like checking at all the pictures, and
right now.
there's a lot of like elementary students in there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, preschoolers, everything, yeah. Okay, cool.
Spring testing, we're kind of in the middle of that. We're still encouraging students to attend school regularly. We have 5 weeks left. And there's a lot of things coming up in the next few weeks, lots of field trips, lots of still our elementary school teachers. I was over there today, still teaching every day, all day long. So it's really important that our kids are here at school as well. We had prom this last weekend. It was great at the archive. If you've never been to the archive, I would highly recommend you go. They do a really good job of showing our kids a great time and a nicely decorated event that we had a lot of kids attend, and more kids danced this year than last year. So I think that's a success.
Awesome. What do you think the attendance was? If you were to take a rough
I
guess.
really had 65
Really?
kids there probably. I mean, some came at the beginning, right? As soon as prom king and queen they left, and then they trickled on as.
Awesome.
The other thing that's hard is everyone except Roswell High's prom was this last weekend on the same day. So I'm sure we had kids at some other things too. So
Yeah. Awesome. That's great.
graduate profile, hopefully you had a little bit of time to look. Miss Miller has been working on this. She was able, a couple years ago, we had a group meet with future focused educators, and they provided a lot of input surveys. We had students who put in, I attended as a parent. I know Ms. Kovos was there as a parent. There was a lot of information that was gathered, and it kind of appeared that all of that was lost. We hadn't really done anything with it. It kind of took us a little while. But as we figured out which group did it information-wise, Ms. Miller was able to get that information, and based upon that and some guidance from the state, was able to create this draft that I hope you guys have looked at. And this is not the final, as we know, things change, and that in the next little bit, we may have some things we need to add. There's a couple more meetings with PED to ensure that we're meeting their compliance piece, but I did want to kind of give you an update on where we've gone since then. We did have students, the picture in the background, students painted that last year, and it's hanging in the high school. So we were able to utilize that with the information that we gathered as the backdrop. So thanks, Ms. Miller, for all hard work you've put in on that. So math curriculum, since I wrote this a week ago, things have changed a little bit more. As we continue to discuss on, do we adopt math curriculum? Do we wait based upon the high school piece? We as a leadership team have decided, as well as talking, I've talked primarily with the elementary teachers, but I know Ms. Ferguson has talked with her teachers too. We are going to go ahead and adopt math curriculum. Our goal is to put that math curriculum out to parents in these last 5 weeks, as we have a lot of parent involvement activities. So parents can come by while they're here and do the parent involvement piece. And our hope is to either adopt in June or July with the board, present that information. So that way we can go ahead and order curriculum for next school year. Because the thing we're coming in to an issue with is we would still have to order workbooks from our current curriculum. We would still have to pay another year worth of the online platform. And if that's the curriculum we choose to go with again, that's great. But if we choose to do something different, we need to make that decision so that way we can at least plan for training the first half of next semester as well. So be looking for at least elementary and middle school adopting. As soon as we have some more clear guidance from PED for the secondary piece, we'll adopt for the secondary. So we're still kind of in a holding pattern for that.
It's just gonna be, so it'll be K-8.
Yes, K-8. So this is super exciting. We have pushed really hard for our students for the biliteracy seal. We last year had 2 students who received the biliteracy seal on their diploma. This year, Ms. Watson has kind of taken that on to look at what are the requirements, how do we ensure that our kids who deserve this on their diploma, that we make sure we at least offer that opportunity to them. So there's 3 different ways that you can show proficiency, and you must show 2 out of the 3 ways to make it. So there's an assessment piece. There is classes. So if you have students who have taken 2 Spanish classes.
They have to have 4 credit
Four credit.
class in a language other than English. And they can do that plus an assessment or their credits plus a portfolio. And if they don't have the 4 credit, then the 4th option, because there's another one, it just pertains to tribal language. How many students that speak the tribal language, but the 4th one is a portfolio and an assessment. And so it's demonstrating for all of our kids, it's Spanish proficiency. New Mexico offers like a whole slew of language options. So all of our students are trying for the Spanish proficiency.
So they would have to do assessment and portfolio the way we stand right now.
We do have a couple of kids that have some transfer credit. Because we honor those as per board policy when they come in, especially if they've come from out of the country. We do have a handful that will be able to, we're giving them both, like we're giving them the assessment and the portfolio so that they have like a backup option. But the majority of our kids at this time would do the portfolio and the assessment, although that's a plan we're working on moving forward to try to provide some more credit opportunities.
Yes, we would like in the future to be able to provide the 4 credits so that way students have that opportunity. And so we look forward to, this year we have 15 seniors going for the biliteracy seal. In the future, we hope that we can even make that more students. So we are starting now as juniors planning with those students. They can take the assessment twice. And so we're going to have some of them take it as juniors. So that way, if they do need to retake that assessment, then we have that opportunity. So
What is the assessment? Like, what is
It's the Avant assessment. It's very similar to the Access. So it tests them on all 4
All
domains, the reading, writing, speaking, and listening, just in Spanish.
Gotcha.
So very similar to the English proficiency. They take those 4 sections and it's scored a little different. It's out of 10. And the difficulty is they have to score a 5 on each domain. So it can't be a 5 overall. It has to be a 5 on each.
Can't average.
Preliminary scores are looking promising as they roll in. They're kind of slow, but definitely will also help us see where we need to focus some maybe additional support on their Spanish proficiency. Because just like with English, they tend to be stronger in one versus the other.
So graduation is May 16th at 7. We do have 60 students who are looking to be eligible for graduation. Just as a heads up, if any of those students have had a concern, we have had a parent meeting already with that student and the parent if they are struggling to meet the graduation requirements. As of December, we didn't have any students who were looking like they were not going to graduate. So we have teacher appreciation coming up. We have opted to move that from the traditional, the first week of May to May 11th through the 14th. And we have adopted a district-wide day, not to say that other things can't happen and that parents can't celebrate our teachers in any other way, but I think it's nice when we have maybe an idea of, hey, what do I do for my teacher that week? So Monday, we're having Kind Words Day. We're encouraging all, I'd encourage you guys as well, write notes of, words of encouragement to our teachers. If you would like a list, I can provide that to you. Tuesday, we're inviting all students to wear their teacher's favorite color. Wednesday, Helping Hands, we're encouraging students on that day to go above and beyond helping their teachers. And then Thursday, bring a sweet treat for your teachers. So
Your dentists are gonna love Dexter.
I hope the teachers are brushing twice a day.
And then we have the teacher appreciation that week as well. So that'll be May 11th at 6. So it's fitting that we celebrate our teachers all week long that week. Spring panorama survey has gone out. We encourage everyone to fill that out. Our students have completed in progress. I know elementary has. I saw elementary email, so.
High school's when, on the,
Okay,
and middle school, I think is when they complete their.
When state finished with state testing, we'll push that out, yes.
so we're hoping to be able to compare those probably at the June meeting, depending on how many things we have on the May meeting. May meeting will be scheduled for 5. So that way at 6, we can go into dinner at the elementary school. We'll do it in the library. We do have a special student presentation with some elementary students while we're in their building. I think that's important that sometimes it's hard to have them show. So we'll have a student presentation that night. So the less we can put on the agenda for May so we can get through it in an hour. And then I have staff positions that are currently open on the website. We have 2 math teachers at the high school, elementary principal, speech language pathologist, high school volleyball assistant coach, middle school boys basketball coach, and a middle school football assistant coach.
That's it. Okay, so item 5. Do we have anybody on the?
Yes.
Nobody. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my paper. There's a lot going on over here, so. Okay, so let me see. State travel. Okay, so I guess we have item 6A, approval of out-of-state travel, National Leadership and Skill Conference, June 1 through 6, 2026 to Atlanta, Georgia, 10 students and 3 advisors.
So I recommend that you guys approve the out-of-state travel. They are going to Atlanta. These are our students who placed first at the Skills USA competition. So they are currently fundraising for that.
Okay.
In what events?
I know we have public speaking, healthcare occupations. Anyone else? Are you pulling it up, Jamie?
Oh, I can. I was taking notes of things.
I can pull it up to you.
I think I saw it posted on the website. Yeah, wasn't it posted on there?
It was.
That's okay. Don't worry about it, Jamie. I can jump on there.
Do we want to, I guess we could approve one by one.
Or are there any?
Can I just tell you about all of them and then we can
Yeah,
have
and then let's
discussion?
do that, and then
Okay.
just do one broad.
After they
approval.
presented their information. So the next 2 Solution Tree PLCs, San Antonio, Texas, 2 adults. So we have the opportunities through Donna Todd with the Peyton Yates Foundation to send our middle school and our high school principal for PLCs at training, how to continue PLCs. So all of this is paid for through the Peyton Yates Foundation.
Nice.
So it is not costing the district. It's out of school time. So I feel it's really important that we should take this opportunity We already work with Donna Todd and By Your Side on teacher development. And so I think it would be a great opportunity for us to also invest in our principals. And hopefully they'll bring that information back and we can spread it as a district-wide PLC. So the K-12 Facility Symposium, we did not go out looking for this. It came looking for us. This is also paid from a scholarship based from the company. We are on a list because we do have a new build, and this symposium is people who do cafeteria tables and chairs and desks, seating in the classroom, any kind of furniture for the classroom, but also how do we ensure that our space is modernized and how are we meeting the standards, the global standards of classrooms. So this is in a couple of weeks, but it would be myself, Ms. Ferguson and Ms. Harris going as we look forward to the new build and how do we meet those needs of that new build based upon that. Again, no district funds will be utilized in this. It's all paid for through the scholarship with the company putting it up.
I move we approve all out-of-state travel, national leadership and skills, national FFA land and home site, solution tree PLCs, K-12 facility symposium, and the restorative room that was already done. So
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have a unanimous decision. Motion passes.
Do you still want to know for skills?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, community service has 3 students, pen design is 1 student, t-shirt design is 1 student, career pathways health science is 4 students, prepared speech is 1 student, job interview is 1 student, medical math is 1 student, and criminal justice.
Got you.
thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so item 6B, approval of DevCo curriculum purchase. That's,
So I kind of want to lay out maybe the foundation of what we're thinking as a leadership team and where we're ready to go. So currently we offer career explorations at the 9th grade level. And with that was one of our local units that we chose last year. I feel very much like we had to have one and we might have rushed in terms of, hey, what are our options? We've since had a leadership changeover and we've really looked through what does this look like and how do we best support kids? So with that, we would like to go as a middle school to provide career explorations. We would utilize this DevCo curriculum. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with it, but what it is DevCo helps us set up a classroom with different stations, and they also help the monitoring process of how small groups rotate in those classrooms. And we have chosen skills based upon what we offer at the high school. So the majority of them will help us get students ready for our pathways at the high school level. So we're hoping to take that place of where we have as freshmen and move it to the middle school level to prepare them for, like, I already kind of know what job I want. And so whenever I choose a pathway at the high school level, I've already had a small taste of what that looks like. And I'm interested in that versus right now, a lot of the times they're blindly choosing the elective at the high school level because they've never had anything in that area of study. Is there anything else you would like to know?
And is it online curriculum? Or
No.
It is not. It is
Hands-on.
based upon each different group. The only online piece really is the like setup and the rotation. It helps you rotate kids and keep kids on track.
So I can build on that just a little bit, Mrs. Pierce. I had the opportunity to watch a highly effective DevCo lab at Mountain View Middle School. It was phenomenal. And in that space, we had probably 20 students And almost every student was working on their own individual modules. So it's built each within a module, and they get to choose where they rotate. Roughly 4 to 6 weeks of content. One of the students that I was able to work with and observe, she was working on the written content of first aid. And when she got through that, she had like the CPR dummy set up, ready to go right behind her. And it was just amazing. And when she was finished with that, like she was gonna have credentials with I'm not gonna use the right terminology, math teacher, not a medical professional, but she was gonna have some sort of certification to attach to that. When we did dive into the curriculum a little bit more, we sat down with our CTE teachers. And so we were very intentional to make sure that the things that we are going to purchase right out of the gate will align to those CTE pathways. Some of the content under the umbrella of construction is a little more heavily financial. What's the word? It's expensive. So we have opted to wait and put some money away. And so we will branch out at a later date. But they also have things that will help us to push forward content that we already have in place, like the 3D printers and that kind of thing. So it's just really, really good momentum towards the CTE pathways.
Who's teaching that at Mountain View right now?
Luis Royal was the gentleman that I worked with.
That's it.
And then, one of the big things was to be able to sustain this. Like, what
Yeah.
does it cost after the initial investment?
Correct.
We're looking at $1,200 after that.
Yeah,
per
just
year.
for some of the,
The consumables, so like the residential construction, those kids will build a mini house.
Yep.
Yes.
And so,
probably using like balsam wood and stuff like that, yeah.
yes, and so with that, we will add that 1,200. Currently, our ag, culinary, we have a operational fund that in which
Yeah.
we give each of those individual, that it costs a little bit more, 1,500 for an entire year. We will add them into that, so that way we can utilize that cost in there. So we're planning in that way as well.
Oh, what does that look like for you, Fergie, in terms of teachers? Like,
Yeah,
will
that's what
that
I
just
was-
be, so will it be full-time FTE, or you just get to use someone?
It would be part-time FTE, so,
Okay.
the gentleman that we're looking at right now, he would be, half-time science, half-time
Oh, yeah, yeah.
DevCo.
Okay.
Very, very capable.
Yep.
Individual, and, the timing could not be more perfect because, with the CTE space, the new CTE build, for the middle school, partnering with DevCo, their customer service thus far has been phenomenal. And we will be able to work closely with them. That way, when we are ready to transition into that CTE space, great.
Yep.
Yes. I'm excited for what this is gonna bring for my students.
Oh, yeah, you should be, yeah.
That's good. Do we want to kind of go over them? That went pretty smooth on the last one. I mean,
Because all of those
Yeah,
are
they're
out of state travel. So if you want to go ahead and we can
Okay.
approve the DevCo.
Okay, all right, any motions on the floor?
I move that we approve the purchase of the DEPCO curriculum.
I second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item C, approval of 26-27 school year calendar.
So you have a copy of that,
Okay.
little backstory on that calendar. We started this semester with teacher input. We brought different groups of teachers. We had 4 different options: before school, after school, to ensure that anyone and everyone who wanted to talk about calendar had that option. We then moved from that to options, and we had teacher vote. And then lastly, I have put it out to community. We have not had, the few that have voted at the community level all are in favor of the calendar, but it's been out about 2.5 weeks and we haven't had very much input. However, It's very similar to our calendar this year, very few changes. The one change that I would like to note, which is now not letting me open it, but the first day of school, the August 3rd date, we're gonna have a late start for our students that day. And really ask for time for us to bring things. We're having open houses at other times and parents weren't coming. They were waiting till the beginning of the school year. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have teachers there at 7:30 like normal. We're gonna open up the classrooms at the exact same time and have parents come in from then until 9:30. At 9:30, we'll start the school day. So that way we have kind of our open house connected with the first day of school. We still meet the required hours for an entire day. At our middle school and our high school level, this is time that we can check out computers, we can give out schedules. We are gonna have to be highly organized to do this, but we are planning to make this happen and see how it goes. The other change would be that at the end of the semester, both the fall and the spring semester, we would do we would get out early release, yes. And the reason for that, we did have teachers ask that what happens is we have parties those days, we have events those days, and then we leave and we need cleanup time for those events. So especially at our elementary school where we have large events those last days, we were struggling to get things cleaned up and we were having things left out that should have been cleaned up before the break. And so we're gonna try those two things as well this year.
Sounds good to me. Do we have any comments, concerns, motions?
No, I mean, the community had an option to like respond to it, so
Yep.
they didn't, and they're fine.
Yeah, I mean, if the teachers are aligned to this, if they created it, I think that's your biggest win right there. Right?
Mhm.
So it's hard to get a general consensus on that. So yeah, I move that we approve the 2026-2027 school year calendar.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye. Smith?
Hmm?
I didn't hear.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. Go ahead.
We have the approval of the IDEA application. So this application is for our special education funds. We have the assurances here. What are we saying we're going to do with the funds, as well as our proposed budget?
No, the only thing I would add is that we are, receiving a little, about $9,000 less than what we did last year, for the application. So that's all I would add. Everything that's there, you can see. Don't have any questions.
$9,000 less, I'm assuming because we have less students on the.
Actually, no.
Okay.
This is a federal
Grant,
so
this is federal grant money.
so
It's just because it's less.
yeah, because titles. Not a whole lot less either, but. It's just a weird.
Do you have a motion on the floor for approval?
I move that we approve the IDEA application.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
After the meeting, I will need you to sign, the board president has to sign that agreement.
We'll do. Item E, approval of 2026 school year salary schedules.
There's too many people on here, so let me quick. The salary schedules, hopefully you can see them. You'll see that 1% increase,
Across the board.
yes.
Mhm.
I'm having the same issues as you. Just with you still on.
Opening?
It's not opening, letting me. You guys have any questions on the salary schedule?
No,
Straightforward.
I do not.
Okay, do I have a motion on the floor?
I move that we approve the 2026-27 salary schedules.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item F, approval of inventory deletions. And on that,
I recommend that we approve the inventory deletions, listed are our Dell laptops. Jonathan, do you have any? Won't let me click them to even talk about the laptop deletion.
It's like 195 laptops that we had in high school. That still have quite a bit of value, so we just want to move them before that value depreciates.
Good.
As we've replaced them with Chromebooks.
Oh, got you. Nice. Okay.
And we have pulled out, some of those, we pulled out the best ones because we do have certain classes that need,
Yep.
the Microsoft
Chromebook.
option, so.
Yep.
I think the original purchase was around 280 or so. So this is 195.
awesome. Do we have a motion on the floor for inventory deletions?
I move for approval of inventory deletions.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item G, approval of unified application budget.
I recommend that we approve the unified application budget. This is our title fund budget. You'll notice that you see for each of the title funds, where that funds are going to be spent. We did take a lot of time to really ensure that hopefully we've already planned what are we going to provide in those areas.
I move we approve the unified application budget.
Okay, motion, and do we have a second?
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye, sorry.
You're good. Motion passes unanimously. Item H, approval of field painter.
So we currently lease a field painter every year at a cost of $15,000 per year. This is how we paint the football field. For track, we paint the lines for all the throwing events, as well as the baseball and softball fields. With this, we would move to purchasing our own. So the issue we've come with is on a lease one, somebody comes in and works on it for us, and we've had lots of issues with the current company causing damage. Furthermore, extending the time. We actually had to chalk the fields last weekend because he was supposed to come in and fix it. And
Yeah.
We just went to this thing though, like 2 years
Yeah, a
ago,
couple
right?
years ago, yes, ma'am, you was involved in it. I've actually got a loaner from right now because our current robot had to be shipped to Atlanta because the kid that came in to work on it did some more damage to it, and I had to be shipped back to the factory.
Jesus.
so we currently lease. So we're at the end of the lease, so we can go ahead and turn it back with no penalties. And so this tiny robot is the one that we have, and it won't let me click on any of these, which I'm not sure why I'm having trouble, but I may end up having to restart. With that, you'll notice that the upfront cost is more. However, then we own it, and it wouldn't take us nearly as long if we were paying the $15,000 to own the machine.
But that's an easy 3-year ROI. Yeah. And what's the lifespan on this thing?
Anywhere from 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And
Are we getting the extended warranty, the 5-year on there?
This will come with I think it comes with a 5-year warranty on it.
I know.
Which then takes it down. Yeah. So if you get 6 years out of it, it takes it down to like $7,000 a year, which is still half of what we're currently paying. So
And the other nice thing about it is before we got our first robot, it took all the maintenance crew to go out and paint the football field. Took us a day and a half to do it. That's doing half of what we do now.
oh Jesus.
Yeah,
Now with this
it's
robot, I can
improved a
send one
ton.
guy out there and he does it all in less than a day.
Nice. And so then yeah, we already have everything we need. We know how to use it, all the stuff.
Yeah, and this
Perfect.
new one is, there'll be a little bit of a learning curve to it. It is a newer one.
Yeah.
But from all the research I've done on it, it's a lot more user friendly, a lot less moving parts to it and everything like the current one has. You have to have a GPS that's set in a certain spot every time.
Oh, geez.
And if you ever lose that spot, then you have to reset all of your field and everything. Well, this new robot, everything is built into the robot, so it saves it that.
Nice.
So it's a lot nicer.
Then let's get that.
And then in
done.
2 years, we're gonna be like, oh, you know what? You just say it and it appears.
I can go for that, yes.
But we own this one, so we
Yeah.
need to plan that we're gonna have it longer than.
For at
whatever
least
we
5
use it.
years, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You
So
know,
when somebody asks you again, say,
Not till 2031, we
Yeah.
can't do another tiny robot.
Okay.
I move we approve the tiny robot.
Or second
Is that what
that.
it's
We have
called?
a-
yes, ma'am.
Bill
tiny mobile
Fager.
robot.
Yes, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Item I, approval of irrigation system.
So what this one is for the practice field and all the way around the fitness center. We currently, you know, you go out there and you see us drag around the big black pipe that has all the sprinkler heads on it and everything. Not a very efficient way to park to water.
Mm-mm.
You know, we set it in one spot, we're able to water for 4 hours right there, then we have to wait so it can dry out, so whoever can practice on there, and go out there the next one, move it. Doesn't work real well. With this new system, we'll actually be able to water it in the middle of the night, so everybody can use it during the day.
Mhm.
Not only that, but it'll clean up the backside of the fitness center, because there's just weeds and dirt back there right now.
Yeah.
So they had actually hydro seed all that, they'll go in there, they're gonna take off the top layer of dirt, just half an inch to an inch, and then they're gonna hydro seed it and everything else. Along with this, they would also go over and they're gonna do top dressing on our current football field. It's the same company that did our irrigation system over there, so they're gonna go in there, they're gonna top dress it and put some sand down, just kind of level out the low
Yep.
spots on that.
And so then what's changing with are they putting in an irrigation system?
On the practice field, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Across
cool.
the street from the football
That's
field, yes,
Just
ma'am.
verifying.
and this was our legislative ask.
Yeah.
Last year.
Got you. Right.
So this
Good one.
will be the money that we asked for from them.
Saves time, more efficient.
Yep.
Done. I move that we approve the irrigation system.
We
I
have a motion.
second for
We have a motion.
the water winkler.
Yes, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Item J, approval of compliant analytics contract 26 through 27.
So we currently use this company. Last year, we had a company that we were using previously, and then whenever at the end of the year, I had to complete all of the NOVA, the accounting piece of that for student accountability. We needed people. And so we knew that we had kind of some things that we needed to clean up. What does this look like for our future? And so they knew PowerSchool, Complied Analytics. They also know as we move to Synergy, they are familiar with Synergy. So as we make that transition, which I think at the beginning we thought, okay, yeah, we're going to move student information systems. It'll be okay. How much can it be? After we have an entire spreadsheet of trainings that everyone is having to deal with, we understand that it's a little bit bigger than what we initially thought. So I do hope that for another year, we can use Complied Analytics to help us ensure that our student information system is correct. And that way, when we are inputting for NOVA, for PED, that we're not going to have any issues. And that way we can be validated in that area. My hope is that as we go through, we will train ourselves because they meet with us weekly, not with me, but with our departments weekly. So that way we know how to correct our actions. And so hopefully we will be able to get a way where we can do that information. But right now, for the next year, we do need that as we transition our student information system.
So this is for the year.
Yes, that is for the entire year.
Because it said monthly. I was like,
No, that is for the entire year.
And
And they meet with us weekly.
they're meeting with who? Counselors?
No, they meet with, well, predominantly special education, and then Jamie is our NOVA coordinator. And so they meet with her and she ensures that compliance wherever it is. And this
Okay.
is, I didn't realize how valuable they were until I went this last weekend with a whole bunch of other superintendents, and we still have 7 superintendents in the state that are not validated for 120th day.
Ooh.
So with that, we are currently have not received our transportation amount for next school year. And that is because we have schools that are not validated. And I can tell you that with that, you have a big target on you of, are you doing what you need to do? So I really appreciate the fact that they have kept us on track. Anything from as small as we get emails, hey, just a reminder, you must have X in place. This is gonna become due in 2 months. And so they kind of keep us backlogged as well, to prove like, hey, you need to be working on this. This will be coming up. And so we're not waiting to the last minute either. So they keep a really strict timeline as well for us. And as we navigate that, it would be hopeful that we in the future get away from them. But right now, I think it's important as we're learning a new system that we continue to keep them.
And with that price, just to add on to what Molly said, they are invaluable to us because we also have kind of like on-call availability. So when we encounter like a reporting question or a synergy question or something like that, we can email them, we can call them and say, hey,
Nice.
like this is not coming up right, or do you know how to run this report, or we have a grade book problem. And
Yep.
so yes, like Synergy and PowerSchool have customer service, but they're like available, I mean, almost immediately.
Yeah.
Instead of having to put a ticket in and wait. And so it's not just they meet with special ed bi-weekly, federal programs, NOVA coordination weekly. But then in addition to that, like when I needed help storing grades, they did a meeting and it's all included.
Nice.
And so there's just a lot of additional support that they provide while we learn how to navigate all of these.
A
I
motion,
move we approve Complied Analytics.
I second that.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item K, discussion and approval of date for strategic plan work session.
So, and this,
This is
we may
nice.
not need to do it today. I can get with everybody individually, but we do need to come up with a date based upon our community needs assessment. David will come back and we will utilize that information to complete our strategic plan. That's a 6 to 8 hours. So I just kind of need some dates. Hey, when can we do this? How can we get everybody here? We can do a Saturday, whatever it takes. So that
We
way,
don't want to get everybody involved. and
Yeah,
maybe
we
table-
do.
So how about what's today? The 20th, Monday? So how about by the end of the week, if everybody can respond to you with dates we are not available, like if we have travel or whatever coming up. And
Yeah.
then,
Did he give you a date range roughly
Yeah,
when
I
you
know,
want it
that's what
done
I
or
was
not?
gonna say. He
He's
might
not,
not be available, so we need to get his dates.
he did not.
Okay.
With the other and the times I've contacted him before, he was pretty flexible and he said this is kind of not their busiest time either.
Yeah.
So if we can at least come up with one, I can always propose it and then but kind of knowing Fridays, Saturdays, what works best.
Okay.
I mean, if we need to, we can do, a later night session too, if that's better for the group.
no, I just have like a few out of town events, but really like otherwise I can work that around, work pretty easily if
I
it's
have
during
a
the
few
weekday.
out-of-town events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just send.
If you guys would do that, then we'll. So if you guys could go ahead and
Table it.
table it, if we don't pick it back up off the table, next time it'll die, but at least if everyone was here, we could have approved it and had a flat date, but
Yeah, we don't know when they're
Yeah,
available.
which is fine.
I move we table the approval of the date for the strategic plan work session.
Okay, we have a motion and do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. That will be tabled. Item L, first reading for policy G-3200, professional staff vacation and holidays. Item.
Okay, can I just talk about all of those and?
Yes, go ahead.
So we made changes last year to that in terms of the number of days. We do not want to change number of days this year. What we're looking at, and the biggest issue that we see is that we offer earned personal in which employees pay $112. They receive 2 of those days or the cost of a sub for those days. We also have personal leave and then we have sick leave.
Okay.
We're struggling with educating our staff on what those days mean and what that means for earned personal. So I asked, how much money have we actually saved with that earned personal? We've saved roughly $5,000 with the earned personal. That's very minimal in our budget. And I feel very much like if we could give that to our teachers and no longer call it earned personal and just call it personal leave, in which we give it to them as sick and they're able to use it as personal, they no longer have to pay. That's a big deal. On the backside, it also helps because we currently are spending a lot of time because somebody might use 1 hour of earned personal. So we're prorating that 113 for that as well. So what we're proposing, and something also we didn't do last time, we did not match the professional leave with the support staff leave. So there's actually 2 policies that typically say the same information, but one of them is so like the professional staff vacation and holidays, and then there's vacation and holidays. Those should match. And last time we didn't make them match. And so that's what we're proposing here. And this is the first reading for those, is to get rid of the earned personal days. Not that we're taking them from them, but we're calling them now just personal leave. So it no longer costs them their $112 a day. And then matching the policies with each other.
Okay.
So hopefully that information now, as you read through them the next time, that'll give you. And so we will have these at the May meeting for approval, but this is just a first reading to kind of.
So 12-month employees, 10 days.
But it says entitled to 12 and then 10 in parentheses.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
look
yeah,
at that.
that's where. I
So
was
so
too.
it was 12
Okay.
before we last year made the changes.
Yep.
And we voted to change because we were going to the 4-day a week to go to 10. Yet we
Got you.
didn't match the 2 policies. One policy said
Got you.
12 and one said 10. And so we would like those 2 policies to match at 10.
Okay.
I think
Makes
it's just a typo then,
Okay, so
because it says 12 and then 10 in parentheses.
oh, Jeannie, they're not in red here. Oh, there's purple, yeah.
I've got purple.
Okay. Let's see. That way we can make the correction now, so that way.
The accrual is also changing.
So, yes, so that's the second half. So right now we provide all leave July 1. So all employees receive their leave all together. So what we are proposing, and there's that.
It kind of says it like earned out the rate of 1 per month, but I guess it's not specific that it will be issued 1 per month instead of accrued at the beginning. Does
Yes.
that make sense?
And so we are, for all leave, would like to accrue that leave because and we talked about that previously, staff who leave within, 6 months can use all of their leave. Most schools do have an accrual.
Yep.
And
What does that look like for rollover? So like if you get your accrual in June, but nobody has to even use that, right? Well, unless you're on like staff
Just
leave.
the-
But does that roll over into their next year or can they access that earlier?
I believe, and maybe I just didn't.
I believe the last one for accrual is in April.
Oh, there we
Yes.
go. Oh, yeah, you're right. July through April. Sorry, Jeannie,
Yes.
you did have that. Thank you. That's my fault.
Because for the most part, the majority of our employees, April is
Yeah.
the last, they have May to use those days.
Right, makes
It says
sense.
April, it does say April.
And then P, which is the first reading of graduation requirements. This kind of goes back to the middle school talk of taking career explorations to the middle school. As we look at the graduation requirements, and we have the 2 local decisions. We previously had career explorations, and it was capstone seminar. With that, as we look towards the future and where other schools have made choices, a lot of schools have made the choice that 7 or 8 classes meet those local requirements, and so you can choose 2. We, after listening to the community needs assessment, saw a couple different things. Obviously, we need to go to a more seminar class versus capstone, and that class will be focused on college and career preparation. So this is where we're going to see our writing resumes, completing scholarship applications, ensuring students have a plan leaving. And then the other option is financial literacy, because our community saw a huge need in the financial literacy component. And then as well, the CTE completer course. So we have a bunch of students in these CTE pathways, and this would be the completer course that finishes that pathway. So there are 3 classes typically in a CTE pathway, and so they would need to take 1 CTE completer, whether that means that they're part of ag and they take that completer course, or maybe they're part of health pathway and they would take that completer course. That typically is either an on-the-job training type course or a dual credit course as well, that would make those requirements. So I think as we move forward, this takes into account our community, but also pushes our students to ensure that they are completing that. But also we have the financial literacy piece that we'll offer in the future as well. Again, this is just first reading, so just information, and that way next time you guys can think of questions.
Can we put these like on the website or on social media or something, just so the community can read it? Well, I mean, I guess the staff really just needs the vacation ones, but the
Yes.
graduation requirement one maybe.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be bad either to open it up as a survey kind of information piece too, of what does this look like going forward.
Gonna go. Do I need to read all these others? The G7500, G2550 on the
Sure.
M and O, or no?
Their first
That's
reading,
first
but
readings?
yeah, but you might just read
First
them and say the first
Okay,
reading.
so first reading on policy G7500, vacations and holidays. First reading of policy G2550, professional support staff sick leave. Item O, first reading of policy G2600, professional and support staff emergency religious leave. And then P, which you just covered. Okay, item 7, finance and facilities. Approval of March bills and payroll. We have a motion, comment.
I move we approve March bills and payroll.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I
We
second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All we're in favor. Motion passes. B, approval of budget adjustments. We have questions, comments?
No.
Anything?
No.
No, good on those. I move that we approve the bars.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item C, approval of 2025 audit.
I move we approve the 2025 audit.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item D, approval of next gen expansion grant.
Mm. Nice.
So, yeah, PD offered the ability to apply for some extra funding for this school year. We do have some welders that need to be replaced. So with the expansion grant, we wrote it specifically for that information. So this comes similarly like Perkins, but next gen.
I move we approve next gen expansion grant.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. E, EdTech bond sell timeline.
You want to talk about that, Jamie?
Yeah.
I was like, what is?
I'm looking at our
So
financial.
we're familiar with our bonds, our local bonds. Local geo bonds go out to elections who are members of our district. And with that, we just, as far as any kind of debt, we've got to stay under 6% of assessed, or max 6% of assessed valuation.
Yep.
However, part of those can be diverted to ed tech bonds. It's not a separate election, it's still a bond. And that, I'm gonna back up, our geo bonds, we can use it to buy technology infrastructure, equipment for student use only. However, the ed tech bonds are for any, school use.
Yep.
So to buy staff computers, things like that too. Our RBC, our bond advisor advises, because they're really smart, how much we should spell. It's usually 400,000 to 500,000. And we have put this off as long as we can to ensure that we have tech funds for the new build. Because PSFA is not going to fund any kind of equipment. They'll fund it up to that plug in the wall or that piece in the wall. So we need this for tech equipment. It doesn't mean that it won't be for any other technology expenses that come up. I believe there's a special board meeting on that timeline on July, maybe the 6th. NMFA, New Mexico Finance Authority, is very specific as to what this timeline is. So we have so many days, so there will be a quick special board meeting for that final approval.
Okay.
Sounds good. Item 8, personnel, new hires. We have none. Resignations. We have Mr. Arthur Cobos, social studies teacher, middle school, May 21st. Christy Fizel Signal, math teacher, high school, May 21st. Katrina Torres, sped teacher, elementary school, May 21st as well, 2026. Thank you guys for your continued service. Item 9, future agenda items.
Anyone have anything that is on your mind today that you would like to add?
No, I thought I did earlier, but I forgot it. So it must not be
Well,
important.
if you do, we can still add it, but
Yeah.
this just gives us an area. I probably will also wait next month, before we have any more of our readings of the policies,
Yeah.
so that way we can get through, at the meeting.
Item 10, correspondence, future meetings and events. A, nope. Do we have any correspondence? No, none. B, future meetings and events, April 23rd, pre-K and kindergarten roundup, May 11th, 2026, regular board meeting, May 11th, 2026, staff appreciation dinner. Which I will miss. I will try to log in for sure, but anyway, so item 11, adjournment. Do we have?
I move we adjourn.
Awesome. Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.
Fastest board meeting ever, and that was like the longest one. we had.
Just
Most of
look through.
Move it. Oh,
That was,
that was a sissy one. Sissy
It
one.
helps 100% not only for you guys, but whenever I had written that down there, it's like mentally, okay, here's exactly any questions I have, thoughts,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can clear up.
no,
before.
it's really good. I honestly just plumb was gonna fly over the darn thing. I didn't realize.
You were just
I
gonna
was like-
skip me.
Entirely. All this stuff you
Yeah.
want to say.
I was like,
For
Yeah.
all the things that you think are important, they're not.
And did you notice how I since Linda's not here, I curved it around so I didn't have to.